Hi kids, today we expect to discuss the poem To the Evening Star. To the Evening Star is a sonnet composed by the veteran British romantic writer William Blake. William Blake was not much considered or not much recognized during his lifetime, but posthumously he is considered as one of the leading figures in English Romanticism. Posthumously means after the death. Now, unlike the other Romantic writers, William Blake brings out not only the beauty of nature, at the same time, he discussed about existing, burning social problems too. Now, when we come to this poem, To the Evening Star, the title plays a major role here. Now, at the first sight, evening star is a mere aerial object, isn't it? It is the very first aerial object that you see in the evening sky. Although we call it as a star, actually it's a planet, isn't it? This is the planet Venus. According to Roman literature, Venus is a goddess, the goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and lust. According to the Greek literature, the same divine figure is called as the Aphrodite. Now, as I told you earlier, this is the goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and lust. When we consider these four factors, you will find that these are the driving forces of the world actually. Even without one of these things, we won't be able to survive. For example, if I ask from your kids, can we live without love? No. If the love of your parents is not there with you, you won't be able to survive. Therefore, love is a very important factor that keeps the world moves forward. Therefore, without love, people can't live. As well as fertility and beauty, lust, these are very much important things for uh, the survival of the people. And the title also suggests us that this seems like a kind of a message because the narrator addresses to the evening star. And when we consider the structure of this poem, we can identify it as a sonnet. A sonnet is a poem which consists of 14 lines. And we divide these 14 lines into two parts as well. The first 8 lines of the poem, the sonnet, is called as the octave. And the rest of it is the sestet. The invisible division line between the octave and the sestet is called as the volta. Now, don't take it very seriously. This is not rocket science. It's pretty easy because octave means the first 8 lines. Octa means 8. And the rest of the 6 is called as sestet. Okay, although this is a sonnet today, this poem could not be taken as a standard sonnet. Because when we read this poem, we find that the volta is marked at the 9 and half, not exactly at the 8th line. Therefore, this could not be taken as a standard sonnet. Somehow, this is a sonnet. Okay, so when we come to the poem, you find that the writer uses the archaic language profusely in it. The archaic language means the old-fashioned English. That means the English that had been used in the past. You see, at the beginning, the poem is begun like this: Thou fair-haired angel of the evening. The narrator addresses to the evening star using the pronoun thou. Thou is equal to you. In the archaic language, thou has been used similar to you but as the subject. In the object, it is thee. But in the modern English, for the subject, for both subject and object, we use the same word you. But in the archaic language, thou is the subject, whereas thee is the object. Now, this narrator addresses to the evening star and says that you are the fair-haired angel of the evening. And this creates very beautiful visual imagery in the reader's mind, doesn't it? See, thou means you. Now here we find the archaic language, and here we can take the archaic language as a literary device. In the other hand, we can see that the narrator addresses to a star using the pronoun you, that is thou. Hence, this could be taken as a personification too. Fair-haired angel of the evening. It's a metaphor, isn't it? Because the narrator compares the evening star to the angel. Angel means the messenger of the God. Therefore, this could be taken as a kind of a religious message too. Now, the narrator further says that while the sun rests on the mountains, and we know that the sun rests on the mountains in the evening, right? And the sun rests on the mountain could also be taken as a personification again. While the sun rests on the mountains, light thy bright torch of love. The bright torch of love is again a metaphor, and the narrator requests from the evening star to light her bright torch of love. And this is not an ordinary torch. Now, generally, we know that whenever a torch is lit up, light is emitted out of it, isn't it? And now, this is the torch of love. Therefore, we find that the light of love is brought out in it. Hence, you know that we need light when it is darkened, isn't it? And this is not an ordinary light, this is the light of love. Hence, the narrator wants to emphasize that the whole world is covered with the darkness of the hate. Since the world is covered with the darkness of the hate, we need the light of love, isn't it? See how beautifully that the writer brings it out. He highlights that the whole world is covered with the darkness of hate. Therefore, we need the light of love. And the evening star, or the goddess Venus, is the most appropriate character that we can request it from. And according to some critics, this poem is a little bit erotic because the goddess Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, as well as lust and the sexuality. Okay, then he further requests, put on thy radiant crown. The crown symbolizes power, doesn't it? Because we know that the crowns are worn by either royalty or deity. Hence, the crown symbolizes power here. It highlights us that this goddess is very, very powerful character. And smile upon our loves. It's a request. So we need love. And while thou drawest the blue currents of the sky, while thou drawest, now here drawest means draw. In the archaic form, it is used here as drawest, the blue currents of the sky. We know that the blue currents of the sky, right? The blue sky has been highlighted as the blue curtain, and this is also such a nice metaphor, isn't it? It's very beautiful metaphor. And the blue curtains are seen in the morning, isn't it? Therefore, from evening till the morning, we need the protection of the goddess of love. Furthermore, the writer makes a request. Scatter thy silver dew on every flower that shut their sweet eyes in timelessly. Scatter means sprinkle. Sprinkle your silver dew. Here, the silver dew which is the evening star scatters out is love actually. And here, flowers are symbols, aren't they? The flower symbolizes the children here. And we know that children needs love rather than the others. Therefore, the narrator requests from the evening star, give your love to the children, especially. When the children are protected with love, you know that the future will be much more secured, isn't it? And speak silence with thy glimmering eyes and wash the dusk with silver. And we hear repeatedly the sounds, speak silence with thy glimmering eyes and wash the dusk with silver. Hence, we can understand this literary device as alliteration. And this alliteration creates a very calm surrounding, isn't it? It emphasizes us that night is calm and tranquil. The tranquility is emphasized by the repetition of these sounds. But uh, then we move to the sestate part. In the sestate part, you see the tone is a little bit different. Soon, full soon does thou withdraw. And the wolf rages wide. Wolf rages wide. The repetition of sound wolf. And it suggests us the howling noise of the wolves. And it creates a very ferocious surrounding, isn't it? The environment has been suddenly changed into a ferocious one, unlike the previous one. Wolf rages wide. And uh, then the lion glares through the dun forest. Now, dun means the gray color. And the color gray creates very gloomy surrounding. And in this gloomy surrounding, the lion glares. Hence, these lions and the wolves symbolize the evil powers roaming at the night. When the evening star is not there, that means when love is not available, these evil powers have got an opportunity to take their praise. In order to emphasize this, the writer uses lions and wolves as symbols. Then the lion glares through the dun for us, the fleeces of our flocks. Fleeces of our flocks. It creates again an alliterative effect. Fleeces of our flocks. Flocks means the gathering, isn't it? The gathering or the pack of fleeces. Fleeces means here uh, the sheep. Sheep symbolizes uh, the innocence. Therefore, the narrator requests from the evening star, that means from the goddess of love, to protect the innocent people using her power from these evil powers. Therefore, the poem to the evening star highlights us the importance of love, isn't it? The importance of love to protect the world. And this could be taken as a prime teaching of Jesus Christ. And in the Bible as well, you find the same message, love your neighbor. Right? Love is a protective power. Scatter thy silver dew remembers us, as if, in the Buddhist temples, they scatter piritpang, and at the churches as well you find the sacraments, so they symbolize the protection, the blessings. Now, on the first sight one would consider this poem as a complicated one, but in my point of view this is not complicated one at all. But the language is a different one, since you see the archaic language here, and the writer highlights us two different factors of the night. In one hand, night is calm, beautiful, and tranquil. On the other hand, it is very ferocious. And when we consider the questions from this poem, mainly the context questions, most of the times it is asked about the literary devices. We shall take an example. For example, if this line has been quoted for you, let's say, uh, speak silence with thy glimmering eyes and wash the dust with silver. This is the quotation. And question number A, from where have these lines been taken and who is the writer? These lines are appeared in the poem To the Evening Star, and the writer is William Blake. Uh, Name a literary device employed here. What are the literary devices that you find in these lines? Let thy west wind sleep on lake, speak silence with thy glimmering eyes. We find alliteration, archaic language, personification, visual imageries. And question number C, who is referred to as thy here? Thy is referred to as the evening star. What sort of an environment is created using these lines? A very calm, tranquil, and a placid environment is created here. Therefore, you see, the poem to the evening star is a very simple one. If you have any questions regarding this poem, if you didn't understand anything, if you still have got the doubts, do not hesitate to comment. I will explain. And keep in touch with Lit Godadam.